Hi, and welcome back to Aggressively Average, a series where I, an aggressively average person, try and do things. Today, we are making a gingerbread house. And the last time I made a gingerbread house was at least 15 years ago, if not longer, and it didn't go well from memory. And you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, wait 15 years and try again. Also, you may have noticed, not even in my own kitchen. I'm in a stranger's kitchen. So let's see if I can even turn the oven on. Oh, I might have to get help to even turn the oven on. I am going to be following the BBC's Good Food Guide to making a gingerbread house. The main reason I chose this recipe was because some recipes were 24 hours long. And it's currently 10 p.m. at night. Not doing that. So I thought, let's give this one a try. Now, because I am not in my own house, I don't have a scale. Not that I have a scale in my own house, let's be honest. But this recipe is all in grams and I need it all in cups. So I'm just going to be converting everything. So we already have our first hurdle and it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. I have faith. Put the oven at 200 degrees Celsius if it's not fan assisted, or 180 degrees if it is fan assisted. And I have no idea if it's fan assisted. I have no idea how to even turn it on. So I'm going to try and get it to maybe 190, split the difference. Okay, genuinely after some help, I've got the oven heated up. I've been told how to use the hob. Great starts. My first step is to melt the butter, sugar and syrup in a pan on the hob, which I can definitely do now I understand how the hob works. So I've got 250 grams of unsalted butter. It's meant to be 200 grams of this muscovado sugar, but I can only find it in 250 grams, so I'm just going to pour pretty much all of it in and just leave a little bit off. It's sugar, so I can't imagine it makes that much difference if it's a few grams off here and there. And 7 tablespoons of golden syrup, which apparently is just shy of half a cup. I don't have a tablespoon measure, so I'm just going to put in just shy of half a cup. So whilst this is very slowly melting, I need to put 2.5 cups of flour in here, along with a bit of bicarb soda and some ginger. Okay, this next one might be bad. It said 4 tablespoons, which in cups, if 7 tablespoons is about half a cup, 4 will be, well, sorry, I think 8 tablespoons is half a cup, so a quarter cup of ginger. But it did say ground ginger, and all I could find was crushed ginger. And I think it might make a difference, but this was all I had. So I'm gonna put in a quarter cup of ground ginger. Again, this isn't a tutorial. None of these are tutorials. It's aggressively average. I'm doing my best. I am doing my best. And then, by all accounts, I just put this into this, and we're good to go. So this is what our butter, sugar, golden syrup is looking like. We'll obviously wait for the butter to completely melt. This is what our powder is looking like. They're little clumps, I think, because the ginger was liquid ginger, not powdered ginger, which I'm pretty sure ground ginger means powdered, but again, here we are. Okay, so this was not coming together, like not at all. And so I checked the conversion of 600 grams of flour into cups, and it's not 2.5, it's 3 3/4. So that explains some stuff. So I'm gonna add more flour and keep mixing. Because the recipe was like, if it doesn't come together, add water. And I'm like, this is all water. How could it not come together? So yeah, this is already looking better. So that ended up taking way more flour than however many cups I said. I didn't film it because it took so long. And then I realized my bag of flour was a brand new 1 kilogram bag. So I just kept adding flour until it felt like it was 100 grams under the halfway point. And that was the science used to create this. What I'm calling a stiff bow of gingerbread. Stiff bow? Oh my God, it's too late. Stiff dough. Stiff dough of gingerbread. If you are watching this, honestly, thank you so much. So what I'm supposed to do with this now, and I can't figure out the camera angle, so I just have to bend down, otherwise you can't see me or this. So anyway, I'm supposed to have cut out a template for the gingerbread house, but like, I'm not 60 years old, so I don't own a printer. No offense if you own a printer, but let's be honest, unless you're in your 60s, you probably use your parents' printer and they probably are in their 60s. So I'm just gonna wing it and do some girl math. Also, I don't have a rolling pin. Didn't realize this house didn't have a rolling pin, so I'm going to use a wine bottle because I do have a wine bottle. So I need the front and the back, 2 sides, and a roof. This can't go wrong. How can this go wrong? I've also covered my table in baking paper so as to not mess it all up. So I've got this. I reckon if I do that again and then I just try and make the same shape. And 2 very similar sized front and back. Okay, I'm happy with that. Let's put these on some paper and put them to the side. It's a very buttery dough. I still don't think there was enough flour, and I'm wondering if because I used like real ginger, there would be extra moisture in that ginger. But whatever, it's too late now. So now I've got to do 2 walls and a roof. So that's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 pieces that all have to be the same length. Yeah, width, length, length. 4 pieces have to be the same length. It's not very straight. This is why they give you a template. Again, this is not a tutorial, guys. We know the drill. I really want to eat this. I'm gonna try some. I know flour has salmonella, but it's tasty. It's tasty. Okay, so now my roof and my walls all have to be this length. But so the roof has to be here. So that's one roof. So this is one roof and this is another roof. They don't really look the same size, but that's okay. I'm gonna mark these as the roof, maybe with like a crisscross. And now I need, oh, that's gotta be the length. Why did I do that? Now I've gotta make the walls. 2 walls out of this. Hopefully I have enough left. Hopefully I have enough left. Okay, I've got 2 walls, 2 pieces of roof, and 2, what are they? Pieces of roof and a front and a back. Oh my god. There is one thing I really wanted to try, which I saw on the internet, and I will put these on a baking sheet and then show you that. Okay, so I've got my gingerbread on the baking tray. This area felt a little thin, so I've added some extra on top. I'm hoping that it will just blend together when it melts. But what I want to show you is these little holes here, which are going to be the windows and like a little detail. The front door is going to be here. Saw online that if you take some hard candies, and I have these, I'm going to crush them up, put them in these little holes, and see if it makes like a stone glass window effect. I'm just going to crush these up with the wine bottle because I don't have anything else. The chunks are a bit bigger than I was hoping they would be, but that's because I've literally just got the end of a wine bottle and smashed those hard candies, because that's all I can do. So now these go in the oven, apparently only for like 12 minutes, and then come out to cool. I'm gonna put them in for 12 minutes and see where we are after that point in time. this is them after 12 minutes. They look more done on camera than they do in real life. I'm not going to do it any longer than 12 minutes because that's what it said to do, so that's what I'm doing. The window effect may have worked. That remains to be seen. It all melted down, so that's good. I've got to let these cool for a little bit, then recut them into their shapes. This is when it would have been good to have a template. Once it's all cooled down, I'll cut them down and then let them cool completely, and we can decorate the fun bit as long as it comes together as a house. So that's all cooling. I'm pretty sure it's all cooled. There is one casualty. One of the things that was the roof is broken in half, so I'm thinking of changing that to the wall and filling it in with some cement made out of royal icing. But here is where I throw caution to the wind, and to the wind I mean to the recipe, because I'm going to be making royal icing. However, the recipe calls for me to make it with egg whites, which I've never seen before, but I don't have any eggs, and I'm not going to buy 6 eggs just for 2 egg whites. So I'm going to use a ton of icing sugar and just some milk. And if it doesn't work, it's one of the things is already in half. Let me show you. This, perfect, great. Would have made a good roof piece. This, in half. So I'm gonna swap the roof pieces and the wall pieces, and I'm just gonna try and patch that with some cement, because I think that's all I can do. I've also realized I have nothing to build this on, so I think I'm just gonna have to build it on the baking sheet because the plates aren't big enough. What are you gonna do? So from memory of making royal icing, it's just a ton of sugar and like a splash of milk. I'm gonna do this over the sink because it's messy. So I have here some really thick royal icing. It's thick. I think I'm gonna thin it out. Maybe I won't thin it out to decorate, but I think this could be good glue to fix that wall piece. Now I'm doing the underneath, so the bit that will be inside of the house, and I'm just shoving just a ton of icing sugar on the crack. So I'm transferring everything from here to a plate, and there's another one. So I'm gonna do the same thing, cover it in icing sugar. Some pieces have made it out great. Some pieces have not. You know what I've realized? I have no plan of if this comes out like really bad, like truly worse than I imagined, which it's looking like this might be worse than I imagined. I have no plan. This might be as bad as it was 15 years ago, and I don't really remember what it looked like 15 years ago because maybe I didn't finish. We're gonna finish. So this is the back of my gingerbread house. What's my plan? Cover it in icing and hope for the best. I saw a YouTube short and someone was like, just use hot glue gun to put your gingerbread house together because you're probably not going to eat it anyway. And I thought, how stupid. Why would you put your gingerbread house together with a hot glue gun? And now I'm sat here wondering, why don't I have a hot glue gun? This was supposed to be fun and now it feels like a chore. This is why those kits in supermarkets are so popular. I have never used one of those kits, but I fully endorse them. Don't do this. This is terrible. Okay, far out. Okay, well, we'll have to deal with the second half of this. Look, we can have structural works going on. Buyer beware, buyer beware. Why did I make it so long? Maybe that was where I went wrong. Maybe I should cut it all down. Oh, what if I cut it all down and then that gets rid of all the problems? Yeah, I'm gonna cut them all down. This is what I'm doing. The two houses can stay the same, but because 2 of these pieces fell apart, that's done, you're out. So now this will be the length. Yeah, this will be the length. And I'm just gonna have a really small house. The economy is bad, guys. Some of us live in really small houses. And it's pretty much where that line is anyway. You know what? It tastes good. I'm excited again. This is much more manageable. Okay. effect did kind of work. It didn't work as well as I was hoping, but none of this is going to work as well as I was hoping. Look, now I do have a plate. Now this is small enough to fit on a plate too. Oh, everything's coming up Millhouse. I'm just gonna have to do my best on the decorating part to hide everything the best that I can. I have got lots of sweets to add, or lollies if you're Australian. I've got a lot of lollies to add in. I think this was the other roof part. Shiza, oh shiza, oh no, oh no! Oh shit, okay, alright, I get the problem. I cannot assemble this to save my life, it's just falling apart. Okay, what am I doing wrong? Honestly, what am I doing wrong? This wall has fallen apart. We're gonna have to replace this with something else. I'm gonna wash my hands. Okay, the one part of the wall fell apart, so I'm having to sub in a part of the gingerbread that we just broke off earlier when we made this smaller. Luckily, it's the right size, so that's okay. This, honestly, this is as bad as I remember it being 15 years ago, and I kind of know what I'm doing wrong in that I don't know what I'm doing at all, but like I never know what I'm doing, and it never turns out this poorly. What I feel like I want to do is get some rope, let this set before even thinking about putting on a roof, because the roofs are like heavy. I'm gonna cut the roof in half because I think the roof's too heavy. I'm trying to think about how I can do this without a roof because the roof is not happening. It's gonna have to have a flat roof and gable ends because that's all I can do. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. It's gonna have a flat roof and gable ends. Like a modern build. Kevin McLeod would hate it. What's sad is that I'm not even joking when I say that this is the best I can do as far as the structure. Let me walk you around it. This is one wall. This is another. This is the back. And this is the last. I cannot connect these two gable ends. It kept falling apart. And if I didn't go for this flat structure on the top, I wasn't gonna have anything to decorate. And like, that is something that can be decorated. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge to harden up. And I'm gonna think long and hard about what I've done. I don't think there's any saving this via decorations. So I've been letting my house cool and I've been letting that royal icing set. It's midnight now, by the way. And with some distance, and you know when you get too close to a project and you're like, oh, it's not good enough, it looks rubbish, but with some distance you're like, actually, that's not too bad. This is not one of those times. Look at it. This is my best. This is me trying my best. I'm gonna just put it on this plate and get rid of this mat. I'm gonna shove some things on here. What I have is I have these name brand fruit pastels, which I've already eaten half the packet of. And I have these because I thought they might make a good door because they're like sticks. So let's throw glitter on this piece of beep. Oh, I think that's the best we're gonna do. I really do think that's the best. Oh, as I say that, it's falling off. All right. I can stay on there. Okay. Let's put some on the roof because why the devil not? And we're done! Yay! This might genuinely be the worst thing I've ever done. The worst thing I've ever created, certainly on this channel. This is so far below average, but this is genuinely my best. There is no shame in doing your best and not achieving what you set out to achieve as long as you did your best, and I did my best. I honestly don't know where I went wrong. Okay, let me show you. So this is the house. Oh, this makes the ghost cake look really good. So I thought these stained glass windows were gonna be really cool. They could have been, had the rest not been awful. So here's one wall. This is the best wall. This is the back that's caving in. And this, we've got some structural damage. There's some subsidence. I wouldn't suggest buying this house. I just covered the roof in fruit pastels. And this is the door. It's made out of those shoelace things. Merry Christmas. Do you remember the croquembouche? The croquembouche was good. The croquembouche was my first one in these series. And I thought, oh, maybe I'm good at stuff. I'm not good at stuff. Look at it. Merry Christmas, everyone. Oh, happy holidays. You don't have to celebrate Christmas. But I don't think anyone wants to claim this for their holiday season. Where did I go wrong? If you've made gingerbread houses and they have been structurally sound, you can get all the walls in and the roof in, how? Anyway, this has been fun. I've had a good time. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. It's the next day, and somehow it's looking worse than it was last night. But we gotta taste test this thing. The taste is good. It's not bad. The gingerbread actually tastes really good. I taste of gingerbread.